It's time we open our eyes to their true intentions and not be fooled by their misdirections and manipulations. It's simple. They want control. They want to strip us of our freedom. They want more for themselves and they want us to have nothing and be happy about it. It was on this day that the Federal Reserve, along with 9 major banks, including BNY Mellon, Citi, HSBC, PNC Bank, TD Bank, Truist, US Bank, and Wells Fargo will be running a 12-week test pilot on a central bank digital currency, also known as a CBDC. If you don't know what a CBDC is and the dangers they present, that's what we're going to be covering on this video, because this can end up changing the global monetary policy for good. And this change is not for the better, but they're going to try to convince you that it is. Now, this 12-week test pilot, they're calling it a regulated liability network, also known as an RLN. I, for one, find it hilarious that they're calling it a regulated and liability network. Those two words are key. The reason being is because it was announced just days after a catastrophic collapse in FTX, something we haven't seen for a very long time, and something that is extremely damaging to the entire crypto space and might go down as one of the biggest collapse of all time. We're talking billions and billions of dollars being wiped away in the matter of a day. And the aftermath of this catastrophic collapse is that the space and many investors are calling for regulations.
What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to fly to Washington and I want regulation. I want it now.
That's why it's ironic that they include regulated in the name of this 12-week test pilot. Now, so-called investing experts like Kevin O'Leary, who you might know from Shark Tank, was either completely fooled by this or is just a pawn in what could end up being one of the greatest schemes of all time. This scheme can be broken down into 3 basic steps. And be warned, we are already in phase 2. Phase 1. The COVID pandemic, widespread fear, lockdowns across different countries, with some countries still implementing lockdowns. We're talking about a complete shutdown of global trade, with implications that we're still feeling today. The fear caused by this and pushed so hard by the media provides cover to the Federal Reserve to print trillions and trillions of dollars. It's honestly unbelievable how much money was printed from the pandemic. In just 1 year, the Federal Reserve doubled the size of their balance sheet, going from approximately $4 trillion to over $8 trillion. They printed so much money that in just 1 year, the amount of dollars circulating in the economy more than doubled. That's insane to think about. And then on top of that, they have the nerve to say that inflation is transitory.
The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great deal.
This is something that will settle down.
Transitory.
As they continue to stimulate the economy and cause more inflation. This is part of the plan. All of this free money and other forms that are stimulating the economy causes a boom in crypto. At this point, their plan is working perfectly. More and more people begin to adopt crypto. More and more people are trading cryptocurrencies and even investing thousands of dollars in them. Big channels on YouTube are promoting FTX and BlockFi and other cryptocurrency exchanges.
Fees are bad. Fees are very bad. But FTX, there are no fees whatsoever.
And if you sign up with our link,
signing up using my link.
There are referral links. If you use my link below and the code name Tom Nash.
Don't forget to grab up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin using this BlockFi link right here. It would really help me out a lot.
The space is just on fire. And this space is just filled with speculation. It essentially becomes the wild, wild west. Behind the scenes, the crypto space is filled with greed and corruption. And the government and regulators can see this clear as day. and they choose to do nothing because it's part of their plan. And deep down, you know this as well. They want the space to implode. So that way they can come in and save the day with the regulated central bank digital currency. And that's exactly what is happening today. We saw a major collapse in the crypto space. Investors and big names are calling for regulation, and then they step in with their own currency. And that's when they can commence phase two. This is where we are at today. Phase two, you begin the rollout of CBDCs. You have to do this slowly so that you make sure you work out any kinks and that the public will adopt this central bank digital currency. And as you can see by that article we shared at the beginning of this video, it's already starting. And pulled directly from the Fed, it is slated for operation in 2023. It's going to be named the FedNow Instant Payment Service.
With the FedNow service launching in 2023, the time to start preparing is now.
So what's next? What's also part of this phase? Well, they want to cause a severe recession and provide the need to drop interest rates so hard and so fast that they're going to push us to try to get to negative rates and break what is called the zero lower bound. They've been trying to do this in the past, but as long as we hold physical dollars, it is impossible to break. And they want to break it so bad. So in order to sell you on the central bank digital currency, they are going to say it is needed in order to save you from economic hardships. But in order to do this, they need you to buy on and they need to implement central bank digital currencies. Let me explain. It's impossible to do this when you have physical dollars. Because when you have physical dollars or physical gold or silver or anything worth of value, you can hoard it. You can put it in places where the government cannot easily take it. With central bank digital currencies, this is no longer the case. They have the money. It's stored within the Federal Reserve. They have all of the power. And because you cannot physically hoard CBDCs, they can drop rates below zero in an instant. And what this essentially does, it makes it so you cannot hoard or save your money. Because when you have negative rates, the money you keep at the Federal Reserve under that CBDC will be charged interest. You would be paying the Federal Reserve just to hold on to your money. That's what happens with negative interest rates. They can't do that if you take your money out of the bank in physical dollars and hold it at home. You can physically save and hoard your money. So they can't force you to spend it, and therefore they can't force you to stimulate the economy. And that's why with central bank digital currencies, they are going to push so hard to get to negative rates so that they can stimulate the economy instantly and act like they are saving you. But in reality, it's all part of a bigger plan. And that's where we begin phase three. So let's recap a little bit. Phase one was to introduce you to the central bank digital currency. Phase two was to implement it. Phase three is to gain control. Once adopted, central bank digital currencies will be used to track and control the population. This sounds serious. This sounds like some conspiracy theory, but you don't have to look very far to prove this. They are saying it themselves, and it's already happening in other countries.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is.
With CBDCs, they will know exactly where you have been, exactly what you have spent your money on, and they can easily turn off your money based on what you've been doing. They'll say that this will prevent funding terrorists and other crimes, but in reality, it's going to be used to control the general population. You'll be put into a box and your freedom is gone. They'll assign you social scores and what are called carbon credits. Imagine this scenario. You had steak yesterday. A steak is worth 5 carbon credits. You took a plane trip to LA. That was worth 25 carbon credits. You are at your limit for the month and you still have 2 weeks left in the month. You go down to sit at a restaurant to order some food. Would you like the steak? I'm sorry, sir. You have exceeded your carbon credits for the month. Would you like kale instead? And if this seems extreme and you don't really believe me and you do not think that they're going to do this, check this out. Straight from the World Economic Forum.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
God, please, no! 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 No!
So all in all, that is where we're heading unless we push back on CBDCs. It does not have to be this way, but make sure to push back and share with your inner circles. Share this video if you have to. Do your own research on CBDCs. And let's not be fooled or manipulated into thinking that CBDCs are a good thing because it's going to stop funding terrorists. It's going to save us from an economic recession. And also, it's going to allow you to have faster payments. In today's world, you can send money in an instant via Venmo. You can buy things digitally with a credit card or a debit card, or even on your phone via Google Pay. There are just some things that take a couple days to complete the transaction, but those couple days are worth it considering the downfalls or potential downfalls of CBDCs. I'll leave it at that. I thank you so much for your time. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more financial and investing content. And if you love to support the channel even more, you can join the Patreon. It gives you access to a private Discord server. It's an investing community where we share our ideas and grow together. And a lot of my swing trades have been very, very profitable. Here are some examples of trades that I have had over the last couple of weeks and how some people outside of myself have been doing well with these trade alerts. There's libraries also in the private Discord for educational purposes. We're here to help each other. And that's why I'm going to sign off this way. This is We Are Investing, and together we are invincible. See ya.